We got a G, G major 7, C, A minor, D7, G. Okay, so we got G, and then G major 7 can be done with like the 3 on the second string and the second fret of the first string. And our strum is like down, down, up, down, up. So we got G, G major 7. And you can also do that one with just the 2 down here. You just want to mute the A string on that one. But this one has a nice ring to it. Okay, so G, G major 7, C twice, A minor, D7, G twice. So let's try that. 2, 3, and. Okay, now the verse is going to start out with the same type of thing. We're going to go A minor twice, D twice. Back to G, major 7, C twice. Now we're going to have A minor to C, G twice. Okay, then we're going to start on the next verse. It's going to have the same stuff to begin with, but it's going to have a different ending. 1, 2, 3, and G, major 7, C twice, A minor twice, D twice, G, major 7, C twice. Now this one's going to have A minor to C to G, and then it's going to have a 2 beats each at A minor 7, D7. So A minor 7 is like that A minor, you pull that second fret of the G string out, O2, O1, O, down to your D7, O2, 1, 2. So let's look at the last half of that. We're going to go from the G again, 2, 3, and major 7, C twice, A minor, C, G, and then A minor 7, D7. Next verse. A minors to Ds. Second half. Now this one has A minor C, 1, 2, and. So it's like a 1, 2, and. So the and of 2, you hit the C part of that chord, the 2 and the 1 there. So 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1. So that was a D7 at the end. So G, G, C, G, D7, G, and that puts you into the chorus. Hold the G. Put in the 2 and the 1 from the C, back to G. And then you have some notes from the A minor down here that pop back into that G. So you got. Okay, so it's like a little bit of a 2, 1 open down here, or 2, 2, 2, 1. So we got, you can't hide your Lyin Eyes and a stone. So we got a quick D, little power chord pickup. So we got G, C with a G bass, G, A minor, G. And on the way to this E minor, we hit that little D power chord on the way. And we pick up the strums as well. So we got. E minor, B minor, A minor, D7. Okay, so that was G, C with a G, G, a little A minor, G, D, E minor, B minor, A minor, D7. now we got a G. Now we have an F with a G bass. So I'm using these fingers to get that 3, 2, 1, 1 to that F chord down there. And I'm putting this finger up here in this big 3 to get that G bass. So C, A7. That's that O2, O2 open. And then A minor, D. We're back to G, G major 7. A minor, D, G. Okay, and then we have a bunch more verses and choruses and things. It's basically all the same type of stuff. I'm going to get into some leads here in a bit, some fills and things, but we do have an outro where we're going to go G, G major 7, A minor, D. Now repeat that, G, major 7, A minor, D. One more time. And then you got a G, C with a G bass, G. So now we're going to get into some of the leads, some of the fills and things. So we can start out with a little part of a G chord, open 3, 3 on the bottom 3 strings here. And then we have, so it's a little 2, open on the 2nd string, 3rd string, back to the 2nd string, back to the 2, 3, 2 at this point. So we got, and you could hit a 4th string, but it might just be the bottom 3. Go to that open, and then open on the 2nd string to 2 open on the G. And then 2 on the G, open B string there, 2 on the D. So we got open G, 2 quick slides, 2 to 4 on the G, back to the 2, open G, 4 on the D, back to the G. So we got and then we have this great riff here. We have so we have 7s on the 2nd and 3rd string. We're coming into the 9 on the G string and the 7 on the B string. And that's 5s and 7s on the same strings. You could pick them or kind of hammer that first one. And then 4 and 3 are going to come into the 5s. Back to 4 and 3. 2 chromatics. Opens on those same 2. So and then you can hit the harmonics on the D, G, and B string on that 12th fret. So all together we got. Okay, later on there's a fill that's going to have an 8th fret, 2nd string. It's going to hold out a bit and then. Okay, so you got an 8 here, then you got a 12th fret, half step bend, you kind of hold, and then you're bending from a 10th fret bend on the 2nd string all the way up already. And then 10, little 7, 9 on the G. So listen for that one. Then you got a little harmonic riff. So that's D, G, and B string, 7th fret, bum, bum, bum. And then 5th fret of the G string. That's like right before a new verse starts. Then we got a cool riff that's like recurring. It's like, so that's a little 7, 8, 9 slides to the 7. And then 5, 7, 7 slides to the 5. And then we hit the 5, 5, 3 there. So we got. And then we've got another one with the 7s on the 3rd and 1st string. And that goes into the 9 and the 8. Jumps up a set of strings, so 4th and 2nd. Hammers into those 9 and 8 there as well. So here we're going to wait one beat, like 1, So it's 5 in the second, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1 in the second. So it's 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and then it gets into a quick like triplet on the last half of this first beat. 9, 7, 7, starting on the D string. Then we get into a 7, 9, 10, 9, 7, 5, 5 again, then open, 3 on the second, back to the little open. So it's like a 1. Dum, dum, ends with that little 1, 3 to a D chord. Then a little later we have a little slide. We're going to get into that G to that F with the G bass. When that A7 chord comes in, there's a little fill that goes 5 to 6 on the G. It's a little 5 down there. And then at the very end of the song, you're going to have. So 8, 7, 5, 3, 5, 7. Listen to the ending, you'll see what I mean on that one. So thanks a lot for watching, y'all. That's Lyin Eyes by the Eagles. We will talk to you soon. So what that is this is part of a B flat chord. We got a 12 on the D string, 10 on the G string, 11 on the B string. We're going to go to those 10s on the same strings, which is the F chord. So it's B flat to F. And then we're going to switch to this other finger, hit the F to a C, which is 10 on the D, 9 on the G, 8 on the B. So we got. And then we have F sharp to G power chords. You could also do that here. So the big one would be 2 and 4 and an extra 4 if you want, up to the 3, 5, 5. The other one would be 4 on the D with 6 on the G, into the 5 and 7 there. So we got. Okay, and at that point we wait. There's some drums and vocals, and then we're gonna have a verse thing that's gonna go. So that's that F sharp to G in the higher octave there. And E power chord. Back to the F sharp G and E again. F sharp G. Now we're gonna go B to C. So that's the second fret of the 5th string with the 4th into the 3rd and 5th. Then we're gonna come back higher. And now we're gonna come from the C sharp into the D. So 4, 6 into 5, 7 on that A string bass. So let's look at all that again. We got. We wait a while, and then we're going to come in with verse, B to C, F sharp G, C sharp to D. Okay, so we're going to get into a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to get into one of these boogie things. Now a thing like that, you could do that up on the 8th fret, but we have to do this on the G anyway down here in this lower one, so we can't cheat that one. We could kind of like do it here if we wanted in the higher octave. But let's take a look at a couple different ways to do this thing. So we kind of come in with 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And then we kind of have the and of that one. So that's the C note, 3rd fret of the A string. 3, 5, 3, 7, 3, 8, 3, 7. Now think about getting that 8 over here on this 3 down here. Okay, so it's able to be played kind of cleanly. You just make sure every string is kind of clear of that one. Make sure this ring finger is high enough. Now let's try it with the 8 as well. So, and you know, you can kind of cheat this one and not hold it there, so you don't have to do that maximum stretch. You can kind of let that one go free to get you up there. To the G. So here we're going to come back to the C. you want to do it. Then we're going to go to the A. And then to the D. Back into those chords there. Okay, so let's look at this, what I call the boogie part. So once again, it was... C, the G. Back to C. A. D. Okay, and so each one of those notes that is the bass note is coming in as like the and right before the new measure. So it's like and 1 and 2, and this is in swing feels, so it's dum da dum da dum da dum. You can probably already obviously tell that. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. So you see that second note, 1, that is the first beat of the new measure. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So see, the A bass precedes the measure that it really carries over. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Same with the D. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now when we come into this thing, we're gonna have the kind of honky tonky thing. So we're gonna have like a, this is gonna be like the second verse. So that's kind of a basic thing. Da-dum, da-dee. We got that 9th fret of the G there from our 5 and 7 G chord. Now we're gonna go 6 and 8 up on this A string bass. So we can go 1 and 2 and 3. So ba-dum, bass, bum, ba-bum. So we're gonna do that twice. So we just slid from the B power chord into the C, continued our honky tonk. And then into the D. And then we get into the next verse. Back in the boogie thing. Now we're gonna have the chorus. Okay, so this one's gonna go longer. It's gonna have that 10 in it. To the C. And then we have this special one, 4 with 8 on the D string. So the 4, 7, 5 to 7. So this string goes deep, 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 kind of with the 4 and against it. So this chorus would be. Okay, then we're back to the G. To D. And G. Twice. Okay, then we're back to the intro. Back to a verse. Boogie. Okay, now we're going to get into this chorus thing where we have. So at one point in the later chorus thing, you're going to have one of these breaks that's going to go like, okay, and you're back to the intro chords. It's another spot you can do the F sharp. It's there close to your other riff. Got that big chord at the end. All right, so we're gonna do a little bit, let's do a review on that. So we got, and then our intro we had. Okay, when we get into the chorus, we're going to have... All right, I'm going to do some of my favorite slide riffs from Heartache Tonight. I'm not going to do the whole thing. This is tuned to open E, so it's E, B, E, G sharp, B, and E. So it's going to have kind of the first thing is like a... So we got 10s here on the D and G strings, sliding to the 8s, and then jumping back to get the 10s on the A, D, and G strings. So then we have an 8 to 10 twice, kind of sliding back to the 10 on the D. That 8 to 10 was on the G, so we got... Okay, then later on you got one. Here's when it's getting into the chord changes there. They're changing it. We got 4 on the G to 5 to 5 on the E. And then we're going to have the same type of thing, but 5th string, 9 to 10 to 10th fret of the G string. So okay, then he's got a riff that goes... So we got little 10, quick slide 10 to 8 on the 2nd string, kind of slide back in on the G string to the 10, and then hit the 10 on the D a couple times. And that riff goes twice in a row. So we have a riff that goes... So we got little 3, slide into the 1, and then 3 on the 2nd string, back to little 1. And then one more of those. And then slide into the 6 on the 2nd string, to the 8, to the 12, and kind of a backward slide into the 9 on the G string. Okay, then there's a little part we go. Doing the chord changes, you can get a bunch of 8s there. Down to those 5s. Those 5s can go up to the 10. Then we're gonna have a little thing towards the outro. We got 1. So it's like 1, 2, and a 3, and a 4, and 1. So 1. And that's 18th fret on the G string and B string. And then 15th. So 3, 4, 1. Okay, and then we have a cool high one. We got. So this high one, we got a little 18. And that was second string, 20 to 18. 18 on the third string, back to the little one, so. And then we're trying to go. This is 18 to 16, and then 15 on the G string. And then 15 on the D string. And that's followed by a 15 to 13 on the second string. And then 15, 15 on the next two strings. And then you got a chink, boom, chink, boom. That's your ending. So we got the 13s, and the 8s, and the 3s. So that last thing was like. Okay, so we have a C chord, 10 on the D string, 9 on the G, 8 on the B. We're gonna go. We're gonna pop in that pinky on the 10th fret of the B string. So 10, 9, 8 to 10, 9, 10. So we got chicka, chicka, and then we go reverse, 10 to 8. So we got 3, 4. So we did that twice. We're going to do the same thing for the F up here on the 15, 14, and 13. We're back. Okay, so there's two sets of each. C to F for the intro, and then C to F for the verse, and that's 2 times each. So C, C, F, F. C again. F twice. And that whole thing twice is the intro, and then that whole thing twice through is the verse. This is kind of a galloping type of rhythm. Okay, so that's that A minor. You could hit that E bass note there. This is an F without the bass note F. So I'm going 5th string down, 3, 3, 2, 1, 1. So once again, the A minors. E, F. Now you could pop back into that C chord by coming in from that 9, 8, 7 B chord. It could also just be kind of a lower note chord kind of thing. So instead of this thing, you could be doing a lower chord like. So once again from the top we got. A minor. Do this twice. C's to F's. A minor again. we get into this like a chorus thing. We got the quick C, quick to F, back to C. Then we got a G power chord, and 2 and 3. So that'd be C to F, C, G, 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 G. Okay, then we're back to verse, 2 C's, 2 F's. Going to A minor. Back to A minor. Then we go to that quicker thing. C to F, C to F, C to F, C, G. And you're back to your 2 each. So let's try to play that nice and slow together. Here we go. 2, 3, and. See how I have fingers like touching all the strings around? Like my thumb is muting the big string. It's even reaching over and muting the A string a little. And then the bottom of this finger is kind of just draped down where it's touching the E string. So I can strum, hopefully I can strum all the strings and only hear the 3 that I want to hear, you know? So, see, I'm strumming all the strings. I could add that bass if I wanted. But when you got a bass player and you're playing with a band, you don't really need that. You might just need that, you know, middle section. Makes it a lot easier when you don't have to do that. But putting that thumb there helps you mute those big strings. So. Very interesting technique to just try to play that little rhythm. There's so much going on there just to try to keep it clean. And then to be able to jump up this high, and I tried this on my Gibson Les Paul, and it was like that chord wasn't really hitting with like where the neck comes up here. So the Strat is like more comfortable for that. So it's like you have room to get up into that new spot kind of unencumbered, you know. And let's look at that A minor thing again. 3, 4. Then we kind of slide B to C. And the only difference later on is like you got your A minor. Back to C. Right to the F. C. And 2 and 3. Here goes a little bit of slide from Joe Walsh, a preview of the next lesson. Okay, so the first thing we did was we went, and that's the upbeat of the 4, so that's the and of the 4. So it's like 1, 2, 3, and a 4 and. So we got 3 pick scratches, and the upbeat we hit the end there, that and a 4. We got that A going to D. So we got 1, 2, 3, and a 4 and D. And then we also have the upbeat of the 4 and that A there coming back to the E. So we got 1, 2, 3, and a 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3 and 1. Now the verse starts. So we did 2 times of that D, A, E, A thing. Now we're going to start the verse, and it's not going to have the on the up of the 4. It's going to have just on the 4. So 2, 3. Now here, we do have that pickup. Back to D, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and D, 2, 3, A, E, 2, 3. And one of those pickups, and then we're gonna do a D chord. We're gonna arpeggiate that D chord one note at a time. We're gonna go up to that E chord right there. So the last one of the E would be. And 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. Now here we're going to go the upbeat on the E to D. New verse. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and. Okay, now we're going to start a new rhythm. 1 E and a 2, and a 4 and. So ba da 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 dum, bum bum ba dum bum. So on this one, you might go to the D and not really hit the bass. Just do that high part of the chord. So again, it's down, up, down, up, down, up, up, down, down. And it's 1 E and a 2, and. So it's the of the 2 and the and of the 3. The of the 3 and the 4 and. So 1 E and a 2 E and 4 and 1 E and a 2 E and 4 and. Do that twice. Right before that one's done, we got a little 3. Take us back to the E, and then we're going to have on the and of the 4. So that's the only time we have a G. So you got the same type of stuff. Okay, so let's take a quick review of that. We got 1, 2, 3. Then we got the verse. 2, 3, 4. And that chord goes better with the lyrics that way. Don't rise. And then we got. Then we got E to D. New verse. Same type of stuff. You got your. We got that twice, and then the last time. G to A there, and then G, D. And then you're back into your regular rhythms. So now we're going to get into Joe Walsh's slide riffs. All right, so our first slide riff is going to be sliding from the 15 to the 17 on the second string, and then we're going to hit that 17 on the first string, so it's... So I went back and forth. And then I hit that one again. Let the second string slide down, so it's... So here I took the 15 kind of down towards 13 and came back up on the D string into that 18 to get that 17 right there. So it's... So that next riff is... So it's still those same two notes back and forth. Here we're going to take that 19th and come back into our 18 again. And then at the end of that we have... So our last riff is 12. Kind of sliding up a little bit to get to the 14, 12 on the G to 14 on the D. Slide that one down. We got A to D there, that's our chords. Okay, so review of this solo again. We got... All right, and we're moving on to the next one. The next one's gonna go. Holds that quite a while, and then... So that was 19 on the first string, going to 17, and then 17 on the second. We got a 14 to 12 on the G to 14 on the D. We're gonna come into this 18, kind of from 16 on the G to the 17 on the B. Back 16 to 18, so it's kind of standard major pentatonic kind of lick. Then we're going to do it again. And then we have a little thing, we're going 17 to 15 into the 18 of the G. So we got that little slide down and back up. Then we hit the 19. We got 16 to 18 to 14 there. Then we start going up the scale, 12 on the B, 14, 15. And then we got... So we got a slide up, we got some 17s back and forth. As always, listen to the recording and take these things that I write out and make them match the record, if they seem a little off. Then we're gonna have this thing again, 19 to 17. And then we're gonna have this 17 to 15 up to the 18 to 17 twice in a row. And then we're gonna have that little 16 to 18 to 14. You can kind of hit the chord there if you want. We do that riff again, and then we have this thing. So that's two quick ones, 15 to 13, and then like a 13 to 14 into the 14 on the other one. And then we have a couple of those 16 to 18 to 17 with the 19s going down, and then it'll be your last riff there. So once again on the second solo. right. In the City, Joe Walsh and the Eagles. Hope you all dug that. 2 pages of tabs. Talk to y'all soon.